welcome back to Movie Files, here with a brand new movie review, and this time it's for the 21st film in the MCU Marvel Studios film franchise, and that is Captain Marvel, which stars Brie Larson, Sam Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, and it is directed by Annette Boden and Ryan Fleck. Now, in this review, guys, I'm going to say it right up top, this is a spoiler-free review, no spoilers here whatsoever. If you have seen our reviews in the past, you know I do a really good job of keeping those spoilers in, and if I have to, I'll make another video, which I'm going to do in this case, make another video with the spoilers, but this is a spoiler-free review. And then before I get into that actual spoiler-free review, I want to thank you all that are new to this channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our movie reviews, TV reviews, trailer reactions, unboxings, and we also do giveaways for those unboxings. So definitely subscribe to our channel. I want to get into this movie, guys. I saw it today. Today's Thursday. Or today that I'm filming this is Thursday. I'm going to release this tomorrow, which is Friday on the wide release. I am part of the D23 Disney fan club membership. So I saw it on Thursday, 2 p.m. at the Stifle Theater. I'm out in Missouri. It used to be called the Peabody Theater. The experience was great, guys. Before I get into this film, let me talk a little bit about, let me set the scene for how I saw this movie. So Disney, they have to do it big. They went to one of our best theaters in St. Louis. They had the event. The theater was great. If you follow us on Instagram, which if you're not, follow us there. You can see the pictures on my Instagram. The pictures of the theater was phenomenal. After the movie, we go to the ballroom. They have the pictures you can take with Captain Marvel. They have an actress dressed up as Captain Marvel to take pictures with her. They had amazing food and treats. And then I walk away with a little pendant for the Disney Club. I got a little cool keychain with Captain Marvel. I'm gonna be putting on my keys there. And then I got a cool little poster. So I mean, Disney did it good. So I was already just in a happy mood coming out of the theater. Now let's talk about the movie, guys. Again, in this spoiler-free review, I will not talk about the plot. I won't talk about the spoilers. I won't talk about any of that. I'm just going to touch on the things I like, I didn't like, give you guys my overall thoughts of the film, and then give you a score of what I think the film, in my opinion, is rated. With that, let's talk about what did this film have on its shoulders. I mean, number one, this is the 21st film in this humongous franchise that I love. I'm a comic book fan, but I love the movies just as much. And I mean, so you have that. It's the 21st film in this franchise that has been just hitting home runs after home runs. It has that on the shoulder. Very first female-led MCU film. We've had some great female characters with Black Widow, Wasp, Valkyrie. I mean, the list goes on. We had Gamora, Nebula. I mean, we have great actresses that played heroes. We got Hela. I mean, we got great female characters in the world, but this is the first time we get a female leading the movie in Captain Marvel and Brie Larson, so it has that on the shoulder. Then you take into account it takes place after Endgame, and then of course, takes place after Infinity War, and she's going to be in Endgame. She's Captain Marvel, we have to introduce her. We're going back to the 90s. We got Sam Jackson. So this movie has a lot on the shoulders, and I'm going to start off by saying, I think for the most part, and I'm going to talk about my positives first and jump to my negatives, they handle all that stuff pretty well. Start up top with my positive, guys. We're at the point now in this movie where we're talking Kree, we're talking Skrulls, we're in an intergalactic, we're in different planets, we got different aliens. I love at this point in the MCU, as a comic book fan, that we don't, as a comic fan and a movie fan, but as, I wonder what, I'm pretty confident saying that the casual watcher of these movies that maybe never read a comic book, they didn't have to, I don't think you have to force feed the audience. We're talking Kree, we're talking Skrulls, so I love that we're at this point in the MCU where we can dive deep into these things that we love from the comics. I love the ambition of this film, the intergalactic battles. It's a sci-fi film, and I'm going to get into all the different tones that they did, but I just love that we're at this point in the Marvel MCU universe. This isn't a spoiler per se, because you can look up the cast. We got the supreme intelligence in this film, guys. I mean, again, I just love the ambition of the film. Now, get into the performances. The supporting cast was great. I believe her name is Lashana Lynch, who plays Maria Rambeau. We got Coulson back. We got a lot of great supporting cast members. We get the Star Force in this film. But the standouts for me, I gotta start off top by the lead, by Miss Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson. Kind of a backstory with her. I have been following her career since 21 Jump Street, since Scott Pilgrim, and then just watching her take on these Oscar performances. The Room, she is just so great to see where she's at in her career, and she like. I've seen some of the reviews. I don't like reading reviews, even for my favorite YouTubers out there. I like to go into movies that I'm super excited for, like I was for Captain Marvel, without reading too much of the reviews. But I heard some of the things out there. Some people saying she was miscast, this, that, and the other. I didn't see that. I think she's great as Captain Marvel. She plays an empowering woman. She's a badass. She's a super Saiyan type of power. She's so awesome. She's funny. She's vulnerable. She's a wisecracker. I mean, she has so many personality things that I love from her, and I thought Brie Larson brought Captain Marvel to the big screen in a big way, and I loved her, and I can't wait to see her in Endgame. Can't wait to see her in her own the rest of her movies moving forward. I just loved her performance. Sam Jackson, one of my favorite actors ever, is great as Nick Fury. We're seeing him, 25 years back from when we were first introduced to him in Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers movies. He's great in this film. Their chemistry is just off the chain. If you guys don't know, this is like their second or third film together with Kong Skull Island. I think she's directing Sam Jackson in her next movie. So they have the chemistry off screen and it bleeds onto the movie. Their chemistry is off the chain. The cat Goose has some great moments in this film. I love that cat in this movie. Ben Mendelsohn as the leader of the Skrulls. This is something that Marvel has been doing in the last couple of years. I go back to Spider-Man Homecoming with the Vulture, with Michael Keaton's character, kind of the complexities of his character. Hela, I thought she was great. Killmonger, I mean, you sympathized, you understood what his mission was, and then obviously with Thanos. So this is another villain, when you guys see the movie, you can understand where he's coming from, but I thought Ben Mendelsohn was great in this role, but those were definitely some standouts. Touching on the story, I love the 90s vibe that we get in this film, without giving away too much. I love what we get with this movie, with the story. I really enjoyed, it definitely has the Marvel formulaic moments, but it has its own little spin to it. Sam Jackson, they had to de-age him. They had to de-age a couple other characters like Coulson, and I thought the de-aging at this point is flawless, and the visual effects just in general, the big set pieces were great. Directors, again, directed by Boden and Ryan Fleck, they handled sci-fi, and we have comedy, and we have action, and we have a space adventure. I thought that all of those elements were brought to the big screen in a really good way, and they handled it really well. These are directors that come from a small, independent type of mindset, and then Marvel giving them the keys to one of their most powerful characters on the big screen. I thought they did a good job, and it'll be interesting to see if they come back to do another movie, but I really thought the directors handled their first big budget film in a really good way. Some other things as far as my positives, I thought the score and the soundtrack was really stood out. Obviously Marvel's known for their soundtracks, especially when you think about the Guardians movies and Thor Ragnarok most recently. I mean, hell, you can even go back to, the first Iron Man, with, how they introduced Iron Man and kind of his themes and his music. So I love the score and the soundtrack, and going back to the 90s, being a 90s kid, I love that. I love the vibes that we got there. And then also, before I go into the negatives, because I really enjoyed this film, as you can see, but I have to say some other things that I really enjoyed about the film was, number one, without giving away too much, the tribute that we get with Stan Lee is just the greatest. I believe the post-credit scenes are definitely up there. The one that we get definitely kind of sets the stage for things to come in the future with future MCU films. So I really enjoyed the post-credit scenes, and if you don't know by now, stick around for the post-credit scenes. They're gonna blow you away in this movie. So those are my positives. Kind of transitioning to the negatives here, guys. I got a couple on my list here. I do feel at times this story has some familiar beats. We've seen it not only within this universe, but in other films. It has some very predictable moments. I mentioned that the cast is great, but I thought there were some people in the cast that really didn't. I don't know why they were in the movie. I hate to say it, but Ronan. I thought that Ronan was going to get a little bit more to do. Some people like myself thought that he didn't get enough justice in the first Guardians movie, and then him coming in Captain Marvel, I understood why he was there, but I don't even think it was necessary. And the things we get with Ronan were a little disappointing for me. Coulson had some moments in the film, but again, he was almost like Ronan was just like, he didn't necessarily have to be in the movie. It was cool to see him, but he didn't really have much to do. And then the Star Force, I really wanted to get a little bit more into the group of the Kree, Jude Law's character and a couple other characters in the Star Force. I wanted to get a little bit more with them, but I didn't get too much with that, so that was a little disappointing. Talking a little bit about, again, I said up top, this film is ambitious. There's a lot of stuff that's being thrown at us. As someone that's familiar with the comics, I knew a lot about these characters, but when we introduced the Kree and the Skrull and the Supreme Intelligence, I think the film did an okay job of explaining them to an extent, but there's so much on their plate that I think that understanding the Kree and understanding the Skrulls and what their beef is and kind of their power levels and what they can do and what they can't do was was kind of surface level. I know that this is going to be a franchise. This movie's going to do bonkers at the box office. So we're going to probably get more and learn more about the Kree. You know, we learned a little bit about the Kree and Guardians and some other MCU films, but this is our first time being introduced to Skrulls, and I thought the film did an okay job of introducing what they really are and their roles in this MCU moving forward, because they're going to play a big role. Once you see this movie, you know what I'm talking about. The Skrulls and Kree are going to play a much bigger role in MCU moving forward. There were some scenes and some jokes that didn't really land with me too much. And also there were some plot hole issues. Again, there's a lot that they throw at you in this film, and I thought the directors did a good job for the most part, but there are some issues, like more particularly the stakes of the film really don't feel as high. Again, I don't have to have a world-ending event for every single MCU film, but with it being one of the most powerful beings in the universe, I wanted a little bit more stakes. I felt like at times, you know, the power levels of Captain Marvel really wasn't explained that well. Like, she is almost invincible in this film. They really don't touch on what, I mean, I know what she does from, I know in the comics, but I don't know if they really express it well in the film, and also what her weaknesses are. So those are just some things I didn't really enjoy about the film, but the positives extremely outweigh the negatives, guys. I've given this film a 4.5 out of 5. That's on the first viewing. This I can see that score going up. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with this film. Again, the performances are great. The CGI was great. The ambition of the film was great. The post-credit screens tacked on with the, you know, the Stan Lee tribute that we got. I really enjoyed this film. Again, a 4.5 out of 5. I had a good time with it. I can't wait to see it again. I'm going to take Morgan and go see it. I'm going to buy the Blu-ray. I'm going to probably see it a couple times at the theater. So I really enjoyed it, guys. But at the end of the day, I do YouTube. I have a good time interacting with you guys. So let me know in the comments what you thought of Captain Marvel without giving away the spoilers. We're going to do a spoiler review after this, but let me know what were the things you enjoyed about this film, what were the things you didn't enjoy about the film, and also what do you want to see moving forward with Captain Marvel after seeing the film. So there you have it, guys. That's my spoiler-free review. Again, right after this, I'm going to shoot my spoiler review because I just want to talk about it with you guys. But let me know again in the comments what you guys saw of this film. Like this video, share this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do so. Hit that notification bell while you're at it. And also follow us on all of our social media accounts. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Stardust. So all those links are in the description below. Again, guys, I always appreciate when you watch our videos. Again, I'm going to shoot the spoiler review after that, so keep an eye out for that. When you hit that notification bell, you'll know that that review is out. But again, guys, thanks for watching this review, and we'll see you on the next video.